wagon. I walked in, swaggin', saucin', flashin', flossin', draggin', doggin', I ain't braggin', I been bossin'. Back then they tried to offer, bag in when I park it. Mac 10 in my office. Bitch, niggas, they got me started. Electric clip but not hit your target. Eyes were missing like a milk carton. Niggas though bitch fits, how they be talking. Used to be a misfit, now he's an artist. Must be retarded, I'ma eat regardless. Get off apartments. Ask him, I'm all in. Bagging, bossing, cashing, call in, dabbing, drawing, fashion, foreign, she gagging. I'm going in, what happened? I'm a horny man, I'm jacking. Friends joining in, laughing at niggas that think it's a joke. They so lame to the game, change with the domain. Styles got a poker face, games but he don't play. Ask him, I'm all in.
Yo, what's good, fellas? What's good?
What up, dog?
What's going on? How you doing tonight?
Man. Good.
Welcome to another edition of the Big Three Man Talk podcast, streaming live on IG, Facebook, and YouTube. Please don't forget to hit those likes, those shares, those notifications. It's up from here. Support these black brothers, man. We trying to do something special. We got a nice guest in the house tonight, Mr. Mike from the Honest Hour on IG. How you doing tonight, brother?
Oh, I'm good, man. You know, it's Father's Day today. I spent the day with my children. Had a great day, and I appreciate you guys having me on tonight's episode.
We appreciate you willing to come on and be on tonight's episode, my brother. So we gonna jump right into this. We got a bit of an interesting topic tonight. Tonight we're gonna be covering something called spirituality. And the thing about the spirituality is that we're trying to figure out why so many of the women of today are clinging on to this new so-called spirituality, and why it's actually, not good, evil, wicked, all of those types of things, and why men should avoid those type of women. And from there, I'm going to pass this one over to WordplayReese and let them chime out.
Okay.
Chime out we may. How y'all doing today?
So good. How you?
Smooth.
I'm wonderful. Good. I can't complain at all. So we're gonna get right into this. It's based on the lack of knowledge that a lot of people have. So basically, I would like to call it facts, Ryan. Right? I'm R&B. I would like to say that spiritual people are too doped up on spirituality. Right? So a lot of spiritual people usually have very unrealistic expectations when it comes to the next human being. Right? And one thing I hear a lot is people cutting platonic and romantic relationships short because they see themselves as high vibrational, while they label their mates as low vibrational. I am of a higher vibration than you. I cannot continue this connection. But we, the people, are all low and high vibrational. We are not just high. When we are angry, sad, etc., all of those negative emotions are low vibrational, and they all serves a purpose. We are both high and low vibration. Problem is excessive ego and lack of knowledge. A lot of people who, let's be honest, a lot of people who get this information are like parrots. They hear something on TikTok or hear the next person say it, and it feeds their ego, or whatever it is, it feeds their ego. So they're like, oh, well, I don't like big crowds. It's all the label. I don't like big crowds, so I'm going to stray away from those people. It's definitely those people that were low vibrational. Those people ain't even did anything, but because they felt uncomfortable around that mass, around that group of people, they said those people are low vibration, or they thought that. And that's not even the case. Sometimes it's you. It's you have fucking social anxiety. And why do you have social anxiety? See, we just stop at the base level. It's like, oh, well, I have social anxiety, or I'm an introvert. They stop there. But it's deeper than I'm an introvert, or I have social anxiety. It's deeper than that. Why do you have social anxiety? Why are you an introvert? Right. Which we are all introverted and outroverted. Also, I would like to say this as well, that, like, going back to what I said, the lack of knowledge. People don't understand that they don't understand that we're all low and high vibration, and you can never be just one thing. So you run around saying, I want positivity only. You can never get positivity only. Because it's just like when you go in the gym and you go to work out. You go in the gym, I just want to feel good only. No, to get don't feel good, it hurts. You get what I'm saying? To grow and be something that you weren't before, this shit hurts because you're shedding everything that you used to be. It hurts to go to the gym and work out and put the extra pounds on. It's not easy. None of these things are easy. It's not supposed to be easy. But I noticed that a lot of spiritual people, what I've noticed is that they run around and they say things like low and high vibration. A true high vibrational person is not going to look at the next person and say, I am higher vibrational than you, and I don't want to continue this connection. Because that's gloating. A lion never says he or she is a lion, or lioness, but you get my point. They never do that. You just know what they are. So So when you come into something and you hear a person saying, I am high and you're low vibrational, that's ego immediately, because no high vibrational person is doing it. Instead, they're gonna operate from empathy, right? Think about it. High vibration is love, all these other things. You're operating from empathy. So when you operate from empathy, right, which we all are, you're gonna understand why that person is low vibration. Right. Even if you don't completely understand it, you're gonna, because you know you can be that, and you know you were that at some point. There's nobody on the face of this earth who is completely one thing. Too much of anything is not healthy. It's not good for you. You're gonna have defects. So, not to be long-winded, I just say that it's a lack of knowledge and people not really doing too much research on anything. They just hear it, feed the ego, and they continue. And you are the ones that's fucking yourselves over. Excuse my language, but it's real. You fuck yourselves over all the time. We put ourselves in this crazy ass place of, I want to meet a great person. I want to be connected to a great person, right? I want to pour into somebody as well as them pouring into me. I want that. When you get it, you cut it short because in your mind, you're like, nah, that's not high vibrational. But who said you were high vibrational? Who said you had the right to cut it short?
You had all the definitions of high vibrational.
Absolutely. So if you have to have discernment, that's what a lot of spiritual people don't have, is discernment. You have to know who you're dealing with. You got a dude or your friend is not stealing from you, beating you, none of those things, putting you in weird situations like that, but you cut them off because y'all had a disagreement, an argument. Argument take two people. If you did something to me, like took a pair of my shoes, and you took my shoes away from my home, right? Just an example. You take my shoes away from my home and go somewhere else with them. And I say, where's my shoes at? You tell me you don't have to steal, but they're at your house. I get upset with you about that. I have every fucking right to be upset with you because your lazy, your ungrateful ass took my shoes. I have every right to be like that because I worked hard for those fucking shoes. Yeah, that's just material. But I worked hard for that shit. I put time in to get that shit. That's what I chose to do, right? So for you to take it, then I say da. You shouldn't even get mad and try to argue with me back because you were in the fucking wrong. It's not you going back and forth with me. Now you go back to collect all the pieces and you're like, oh, well, I cannot continue this connection with you, this friendship, because you're low vibrational. And how I know is because we argue all the time. I'm going to just stop there. Y'all get the point, though.
Yeah, I get the point.
It's insanity.
Yeah. Like I was saying,
wait. Let me throw this on here real quick. You have to be real quick. I'm sorry. You have to be very careful because you ending great things for yourself. You say a prayer, guarantee it'll be answered. And if whoever it is not really a truly high, it ain't about high and low, right? It's about who treats you this way and that way. What is this person truly doing? And what are you doing? You cut yourself short of great things. You knock yourself. You're in your own way. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, my thing about it is when it comes down to like people saying high vibrational or low vibrational, it's mainly about personality. This is just to me. I mean, like I say, y'all probably have your own opinions on it, but it's to me because, when I encounter somebody with a great personality, they know what they're talking about. least to me. You know, but they know what they're talking about. They have a lot of knowledge, and their delivery is on point. And they the conversation, the vibe is actually really good. That I would deem that a high vibrational person because they have a very good personality. Somebody who has a low vibration to me would be somebody with a bad personality. A person who's just pretty much kind of just have an attitude, um, don't know what they talk about, saying a bunch of stupid stuff, that don't make any sense, or they just like going with Reese was saying, like, a person just getting mad, saying like, saying like just saying a bunch of mad stuff and just not the communication is just well off. The vibe is well off. You know what I'm saying? So when I talk about as far as like high vibration and low vibration, I'm mainly speaking on personality wise. Um this like what type of person are you? What is your personality? Are you, what I'm saying, are you well mannered? Are you well spoken? You know what I'm saying? Do you have, are you pretty intelligent? Are you nice? Are you respectable? Respect goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? Are you respectable? You know, and if you're none of that, what I'm saying, then you're definitely low vibration because the vibe itself between me and you will be low. It won't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, what I'm saying? This person definitely not the type of person I need to be communicating with. Um and there's like with the that's a comment from Queen Quee. She said music is vibration, is high, low, and medium vibrations, which I
Facts.
agree. I agree with
Facts.
that. Music is a vibration because the way how you vibe with the music is, what I'm saying, it will tell the vibration of it. Basically, how the way the music presents itself and makes you feel, basically, when listening to it, can
Mhm.
definitely tell if it's vibration, if it's a high or low vibration or medium vibration. So I do agree with that. Um, so such a lady says accountability. She was probably going off of what you were saying, Reese, about being somebody being accountable, which, I agree with that too. And then somebody else said manipulation. She says defensive all the time for no reason. Yeah. Yeah, when you stealing somebody's stuff and you stole somebody's stuff, you
This
will get defensive instead of taking accountability for what the hell you did. Yeah, I get that. Like, and that right there is a low vibrational person because instead of them owning up to what the hell they did, they lie or they try to go on the defensive, what I'm saying, or they try to cover stuff up. That that's a low vibrational personality. Plain and simple. That is definitely a low vibrational personality because you're not being an adult and owning up to your responsibilities, to owning up to the fact that you did what you did. You know, Plain and simple. So that's my take on it, and I'm gonna pass
All
it
right,
on to.
I wanna hop in here for a second so I can drive this bus because I don't want us to get off track here because the conversation is not about high and low vibrations. That's just the nuance around the subject. The subject is about spirituality, the women who believe and push and preach this wicked spirituality, and why men should and have to avoid them. And when we're talking about this spirituality, we're talking about, one of the nuances is the high vibration, low vibration, but other nuances are also spell castings, um, carrot sign readings, and all of these different types of things that these wicked women, and I'm saying wicked because it's facts. The shit is wicked. It's black magic. It's witchcraft that study this stuff and get into this type of stuff. They can control a man. They can control a man's mind with that shit. And that's what the basis of this is around. It's not truly, just based on high and low vibration. So I just wanted to bring us back home for a second because I felt like we were veering too far away. But with that, I'm gonna let Mike step in here and then I'll come in after you, bro.
Okay. Well, we're even though we're gearing back to the point, I believe that vibration also has a lot to do with energy. And
Facts.
and when you have like, I use a lot of music references to make my points. Jadakiss was on a song called Friends, and he says, blood makes you related, but I go off energy. If your vibration and your energy don't calibrate, you're going to get nowhere. You're going to get nowhere. You know, it's kind of like if you don't have a timing belt on your car, it's not going to calibrate your motor. You're not going to go anywhere. So when you look at the two, or when I look at the two put together, it's kind of like, okay, I need to know your energy's good, you know, and we all make mistakes and we all misinterpret people. We're not perfect, but the idea is to figure those things out and try and figure them out early, because you got people who you'll do anything for who necessarily won't do the same for you. You'll support them 110%, but when it's your turn to be supported, they're nowhere to be found, you know? So that energy and that that has to be calibrated all together. And when you talk spirituality, for me, when I think of that, I think of like religion personally.
Ooh.
You know, I think about people who are, you know, who are really religious. They go to church every Sunday and they go and they give their tithes and their offering. They're on Bible study on Wednesdays, choir practice on Monday. And there's nothing wrong with that. I got plenty of friends who are good, who are church folks. I got no problem with that if that's what you want to do. But when sometimes people will force that onto you, and you know, I had a woman that I wanted to see a lot of years ago, and she was very spiritual. She was very religious. I had no problem with that, but my experiences in churches were bad. And like a quick backstory is like, I was going to a church up near where I live up here in New York, and the pastor told my mom's best friend that she couldn't attend certain church conferences because she was white. So that and I was a little kid, but I understood that that was wrong, right? So for many years, my mother and I did not go to church. And then fast forward, my uncle starts doing a church out of his house. All right, cool. No big deal. So we were going to this church for 5 years. And then suddenly, he's having a house built in Pennsylvania, which was supposed to be a church building, but the church building never happened, but you built your house. So in my mind now, it's like, okay, you took that money and you built your house with it. So when I think spirituality and how it differs with women, it's religion, but I think in this particular situation or this particular topic, it's deeper than that. You have to go deep rooted into the spirit of a woman. Because I always tell people, I have a friend, two friends, they're real close friends they used to date. And she broke up with him for whatever reason. Now, they spiritually were connected, right? And what people don't understand is, you see, like when people say, "Oh, I'm just fucking her. I'm just sleeping with him." When you are exchanging that, when you're doing that physical exchange, you're exchanging more. Yes, you're exchanging energy. You're exchanging motion. You share everything with that person. You're sharing fluids. You're sharing your body. You're sharing your mind, your soul. And people don't get that that's a spiritual connection. The mistake that people make is that once they get to that spiritual connection, they, the mind plays tricks on you. And the thing with women is, and I don't know if you guys have seen it across your social platforms as of late, I've seen a lot of women like, I don't need to pay bills. I want my man to do this. I want my man to do that. I want my man to do that. And, you know, I got something I want to say, but it's going to come off offensive the way I say it to my friends. So I have to reword it because I don't want to get canceled. What? What?
This the Big Three Man Talk podcast, bro. You
So
can
you
say
want me
whatever
just
you
say,
want to say when you hear.
you want me to just say it how I feel it?
Man, look, just
Say it
speak
how
your
you
mind,
feel
brother.
it.
Speak
This
your
is
mind.
the venting pot.
My thing is like, yo, what are you bringing up to me other than used pussy? That, you know, because essentially that's what we're looking at. That's what you're telling me. You want me to do all this for you. You know, you want me to pay your bills. You want me to, you know, take care of the house and all this stuff. What are you doing for me? Because it's a partnership. And when I don't have that partnership, that throws my vibe off. That throws my energy off. That throws my spirit off with yours.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't be in that same space if we're not trying to do the same things to help each other in all forms, meaning financially, meaning stability, meaning you know, just taking care of the kids, taking care of the house. It should be a partnership. This isn't back in the 50s and the 60s and where the man worked, the woman took care of the home, took care of the kids. We can't afford that anymore. It's got to be a partnership. And I think that all that, people don't think about all that. And they don't consider any of that when thinking about their spirituality, when they're thinking about energy, when they're thinking about vibes. 9 times out of 10, if your gut is telling you that it's wrong or not to do it or this person's bad, just listen to it because it ain't never going to let you down.
Hey, y'all ever heard of this song by Frank Ocean called Bad Religion?
Is that on the channel?
I heard
it's
the song,
on
but I never
Channel
I
Orange.
don't remember actually hearing.
It's on Channel Orange. It's called Bad Religion. It's actually a pretty dope song. You know, you can take it how you want to take it. But what I would say how that relates to what we're talking about, a lot of the spirituality that the women that Wordplay when he starts off his soliloquy are talking about, they study in a bad religion. And that's what keeps them clouded from all of the stuff that you're talking about right there, Mike. You know what I'm saying? That it's a bad religion will always cloud your mind and keep you confused and not on path. That's why it's bad religion. But if you don't know that it's a bad religion, then it's hard to escape from it. And another thing that makes it hard to escape from it is because they love it, because it promotes selfishness. And a lot of them are selfish. It promotes selfishness, ego, all of that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? If a female asks me, you know what I'm saying, when's your birthday? You know, or what's your sign? I don't even got time for that. Not no more. You know, some years back when I was more ignorant and immature, then so, I'm sexy Sagittarius, baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? What's up? but I had to get to a point of having more knowledge and gaining knowledge. I see, you know, that a lot of that stuff is bad religion. And that's what they all be, you know, rolling off of with the tarot readings and all of that different type of stuff. It's wicketry. That shit is straight wicketry. So like he said in the beginning, you're gonna keep falling into the same mistakes and the same problems if you continue to study and follow behind wickedness and a bad religion. And like you said, clouded thoughts. Everybody, all of these women being parents out here. Oh, I like that idea right there. Yeah, me too. I like it too. It's like it's a continuous, continuous pattern of just constant, like. So at some point, somebody has to, you know what I'm saying? We need more of our sisters to take a stand on this type of stuff. The sisters that's really, you know what I'm saying, about it, and about being good, virtuous women, they have to be the ones to stand up, because I'm gonna tell you, they not gonna really listen to us. So you might get some, but I don't think you would, get as many, what I'm saying, as if the women started to stand up against a lot of this stuff. But that's where it has to start.
Let me ask you, are any of you guys on the panel married?
I'm married.
No.
No,
I'm divorced.
I'm
I'm divorced.
You did say that you were divorced. What about you in R&B? You married?
I'm not married, but I put it
spiritually.
like this: we ain't gonna go down this rabbit hole, but from where I am and where I see myself in knowledge factor, yeah, I have multiple wives, but
There we go.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
saying,
There we
Well, no,
go.
I'm just
I ain't
saying.
never walked down the aisle though.
Okay, okay. I just want to just put together my personal experience just to mold it together based off piggybacking off of what you said. I'm in my second marriage. I've been with my current wife all together in totality 10 years. We've been married 2 years. My first wife, you know, once again, energy. I was 23, young and dumb. And I fell for that Miss Energy trap. I think her and I connected, but we didn't see the same things at that time. We didn't see that same vision. So we split, 2 years and two kids later. And then I met my wife now. And the other thing that is important is support. Like your partner having to support you in everything you do. Like me, I've gotten into this thing where now, like I do a lot of different things and I get an idea in my mind and I'm doing it. It's just not, it goes on the vision board and I'm doing it. And that's the other
That's
thing is a
good.
lot. Yeah, absolutely. And I write them. Like people put it in their phone. Now that's bullshit. I write it down because then I'm actually feeling like I'm connecting to what I'm trying to accomplish. We spend a lot of time on these screens, whether it's like stuff for this or just bullshitting through the day. We spend a lot of time on screens, and I'm guilty of it. But it's important that we have support. And I take mental health seriously. And I know I'm kind of jumping all over, but I just want to open up and be a little more transparent. Mental health is serious. So June is Men's Mental Health Month, and that's phenomenal. But even through, my wife has supported me through everything I've tried to do and I try to accomplish. And that's another thing that goes with spirit. Even if you're trying to, think about a relationship with a female or a woman, you got to make sure she's going to be supportive no matter how hard it is. And it's just men and women just ain't talking to each other. Like I just feel like there's just a lot of disconnect, even in relationships or in marriages. Like I tell people, any kind of relationship is work. My best friend, we work
Let me
together.
intervene for a quick second, ask
Yep,
you a quick
yep.
question on
Yes,
something you
sir.
just said. Do you really think that it's men and women ain't talking as much, or that maybe somebody ain't listening? Because I feel like men are doing a lot of talking, but I don't
Absolutely,
think
they're
it's
not
a
listening.
lot of listening going on. I think it's a lot of
Let me catch
rebuttals
that.
and a lot of just arguments and so on and so forth. What would
That's
you say to that coming back in going forward?
That's a good take. I would say that, I think I can agree with that sentiment. And that's even on my behalf. I don't listen to everything my wife says. Sometimes you just get tunnel visioned and you just see what you want to see. Nothing over here matters. So I think I can agree with that sentiment that yeah, there's not enough listening and there's definitely not enough compromise either.
Yeah, those are part of a marriage and relationship. Compromising and communication is very, very important. And I mean, and like going off what R&B said, that like men do, what I'm saying, do a lot of talking, and we're not really being heard. Um, just like the women do a lot of talking, they're not being heard. But see, the reason why is because we're not communicating right. You know, like a lot of women don't know how to talk to men, and a lot of men don't know how to talk to women. We're not communicating right. You know what I'm saying? We don't truly understand each other, you know, to be able to communicate the right way so we both can be heard, you know.
Right.
And like I said, there are a lot of women that just don't want to listen to men at all. Like they just don't. They want to do all the talking. They want to, you know, control the narrative because most of the time it's just all about control to them. So you know, we can't let them control the narrative. You know, we can't. It's not. Like I said, it's not really about controlling the narrative. It's about making your voice heard, understanding exactly what it is that we're saying. But then on top of that, your delivery on what you're saying has to be on point too, because you got to understand who you're talking to. You know what I'm saying? So as a man, I got to understand I'm talking to a woman, so I can't talk to her like I do with one of my homeboys. I have to talk to her in a different way so that she will be able to understand me. Now, trust and believe, there are a lot of women out there that's just ignorant and they just don't want to understand. They don't want to hear you. But for the ones that do, some of them still can't understand you because you're not talking to them in their language. I guess that's what you want to say. I guess for better words.
No, you got to, yeah, about to say, yeah, for lack of a better way of saying,
yeah,
we
there you
can't
go,
talk in their language. We not women.
Yes.
No,
yes.
Yeah, see, the thing about it is we can.
No,
and
sir.
It's a way to do it. Yeah, we can. It's a way to do it. Of course, we're not gonna just be like the whole time. No. I'm saying,
no,
no, that's not what I'm saying.
I know that ain't what you're saying.
I know
that ain't what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm saying no.
I ain't talking about movements and all of that shit. I'm just saying that a man is always gonna be a man at the end of the day, and a woman's always gonna be a woman. And there's certain ways that we convey. Now, if you want to say you should be polite and you know and dare I say soft in the manner that you deliver certain messages, then yeah, I agree with you there. I definitely agree with you. You can't be firm and hard
part
about
of talking
everything,
their language. Yeah,
but
that's a part of talking their language when you being soft, like somewhat soft, but basically you being soft tone. You understanding what they're saying from a feelings type point, because you know they're emotional. So you have to understand their emotions. So as a man, if you understand a woman's emotions, you will understand exactly where they're coming from, and you will totally understand. You can repeat it back to them, so you can let them know that you are listening and you hear them and you understand. Then that's when you can get back to masculinity and let her know logic. Like, okay, look, I understand that's exactly what you're saying. This is, you said this and this and this. I totally understand it because you feel this and this and this. I get it. But realistically, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? So that way she can understand where you're coming from. And like I said, the woman needs to actually get to that point of masculinity too, just a touch, not fully. You know, we ain't talking about full blown masculinity, just a touch, so she can understand where her man is coming from a realistic, logical point. Bro.
I get where you coming from, and I get what you're trying to say, but I don't totally understand it at the same time though, because I'm like, if we got to do all of that, what's the point of us? Why do I constantly got to tap into your job, and why do you always constantly got to tap into my job? Why can't we both just do our own fucking job and make it work?
If the thing about it is, if you just keep talking to her masculine the whole damn time, she's not gonna listen to you because she don't understand you. She don't understand the masculine thing.
You're not. I'll give it to you real quick.
No,
I'm just asking though, what the fuck is talking masculine?
We just talking.
We just talking.
Because I think that's what that's what a lot of women say too. But I agree with what you're saying, where you're going with this though. But I wanted to ask you because there are people watching, and I don't want anyone to see. I get it. But there's people, I get where the direction you're going, but there's people who's watching and they hear that, oh, don't be masculine when you talk to her. So no, it would break it completely down for them. So are you saying don't yell at them? Don't like, bitch, if you don't go get that shit, pick that up now.
I mean, of course you're not gonna be disrespectful.
Right. Or don't yell at them. Is that what you, because when you say don't be masculine, I'm a man. So if you saying don't be, I can be masculine and say, baby, I'm gonna need you to think. Stop, please. And you lay it out to her and you go over with her and say it back slow in a calm tone, but
exactly.
It's still masculine.
So look, I was just about to answer that.
Go ahead.
You well, to be honest, you pretty much kind of answered it when you just did exactly what you did. Listen. No. You answered it because the thing about this, the way how you just talking in that tone, like, hey baby, listen, this isn't this. That's a masculine thing because you're talking logic, you're talking realism. Talking masculine is logic and realism. You know what I'm saying? That's a masculine talk, not getting loud, and because she can get loud too. She can yell and scream at you too. You know what I'm saying? That's not masculine. That's just being ignorant. You know, when you get loud because you just trying to get some point across that at this point we don't give a fuck about because you yelling at me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna listen to you yelling at me. You know what I'm saying? Just like she's not gonna listen to you yelling at her. You know what I'm saying? The thing about it is
gonna keep raising the temperature.
Exactly. And y'all ain't gonna get anywhere. You know what I'm saying? When I say, yeah, it's like what Jay Soul just said, men come with logic. That's saying logic, reasoning, and realism. That is a masculine tone. You know, feelings, emotions, that's a female tone. So that's what I'm saying. When we communicate with each other, we have to be able to tap into that stuff, not be in it the whole way. Tap into it. That's the only way we're going to be able to understand each other, and the communication would be a lot better. So, in order to get her to truly understand,
continue.
Yeah, my bad. So for her to get for her to truly understand where you're coming from as a man, so she can actually listen and understand, you're gonna have to get on her level a little bit with the feelings, with emotion, to understand where she's coming from. When she's saying what she got to say, you understand where she's coming from. You're repeating it back to her, and you letting her know, yes, I totally understand, because you know, baby, I understand you feel that way because you know you feel this and this and this, and I would probably feel the same way. I get it, but listen to this, blah 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 blah. And that's when you hit her with the reasoning and the logic. That way, now her ears is opening, and she can actually understand what you're saying. That's if she's that type of woman. You know, you got some women out there just ignorant as fuck. They ain't gonna want to listen regardless. But for the woman that actually will listen, we talking about those women. You know what I'm saying? They will understand exactly where you coming from, masculine reasoning and logic, and it'll make sense to her too. And you're like, you know, yeah, I get it. It does kind of make sense. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And then y'all can go from there to fix the problem. That's basically what I'm saying. But you know, I think R&B was trying to say something.
Yeah. Then
only thing I'm gonna simply say is I just disagree, man, because I don't feel like at any time should a man ever be looking to tap into nothing less than what he is and be anything less than what he is. And that's a part of that spirituality shit that these women be out here with that bad religion, want men to be like that. Now see, when you sit up here and they 1 minute they say, oh, if you have something to say back, or if you feel a certain way, or if you like this, you sassy, you gay, you this and that. But now we sitting up here saying it's okay to tap into being a parts of them when we're men. No, just be a good man. At the end of the day, we have to stop making stuff so freaking complicated. It's not that complicated. It's just be a good man, be a good woman. Simple as that. You don't have to tap into being her. She don't need to tap into being you, because that's the reason that you both are there. Yin and yang, 50-50, her, him. You know what I'm saying? That it's simple as that. But I want to let Mike get back in. I know he look like he ready to get back in.
Y'all good. I'm just taking it in. I'm just taking it in. But I think also masculinity can mean another way. Sometimes you have to assert yourself. Like, because sometimes women will put you in a awkward situation.
Oh yeah.
And
don't we know it?
You know, like just recently, me and my wife had an issue, and she put me in an awkward situation. And I said to her, I said, listen, you cannot put me in that situation again. And I was direct, and I meant what I said. I was just like, you know, because you didn't communicate you were having this problem, and then suddenly now the problem's at its wit's end. Now you want me to step in. Now, if you got me going along the way and you're updating me and saying, hey, babe, this is what's going on. Okay, but now you're backed against the wall. Now you need me when you should have asked me 2 weeks ago when the problem started, or at least had me informed, because that wraps back to communication, right? So sometimes masculinity isn't even getting to tap into what they're saying. I think that tap in, what you're saying, is more of a communication thing. You want to you know, because sometimes, like, I'll have a conversation with my wife and I'll say, all right, I don't understand that. Can you explain it to me as you're thinking it? Because it doesn't make sense to me. You know, if I really want to understand what you're saying, because we're having a conversation to move forward from something or get to somewhere we're trying to go, that's the thing. Masculinity to me is like, okay, like you kind of have to not, in a sense, put your foot down, but you have to be stern and say, listen, I'm upset about this. I don't like it. Please don't do it again. You know, and then if it happens again, you have to say, hey, we talked about this. Like, what happened? Why did this happen again? So it's all about, you know, it's all about how you say things too, like to Thomas's point, because sometimes, you know, you say things and you say that you deliver them wrong and it's taken wrong. That's why I hate text messages having debates, because they're so easy to misinterpret.
Yeah,
You know, like, you know, like it's just like, oh, well, you're saying it like that. You're calling me this. It's like, but I didn't mean it that way. It's like, but that's how you interpret it in your mind. Like I said earlier, your mind plays tricks on you. So
yeah, when you put stuff in all caps, oh, you're screaming at me now?
Yeah.
Like, what? No.
Explanation points, question marks, angry emojis, you know? So I think back to R&B's other point is that there's not enough listening. So now I'm going to kind of wrap both of your points together. There's not a lot of listening, right? So because there's not a lot of listening, then it forces, in a sense, people, even the woman, to have masculinity or prove to be masculine. And then it enters into screaming and then to yelling and then to arguing. So now we've gotten away from the original core of what we're trying to figure. Now we're way down here. We've taken steps backwards. And now, on top of still having that original problem, we have to figure out how to get through the argument we just had to get back to that and then fix that as well. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's a lot of layers and it's a lot of work. You know, you have to be willing to put in the work. It's kind of like at a job. Everyone wants to make the top dollar, but they don't want to put in the work. Everyone wants to have a successful podcast. They don't want to put in the work. Everyone wants everything so fucking easy, and it aggravates my soul. And I look at my children, I love them, but they're lazy. You know, and that's that.
Yeah, right.
You know, they're lazy, and they're always like, yo, we're going to do this. We got to do that. But they don't want to put in the work. And that's the other part of it, is that you both have to do the work. You both have to do the work. And like I said before, don't matter any relationship. You know, the three of us, you know, live in different cities and we're friends. Guess what? I got to put in work. I was like, oh, man, I ain't tapped in with Thomas in 2 weeks. I got to call him. I got to make time to tap in with Reese. I got to make time to tap in with R&B. Like, you know, relationships with your kids, with your parents, it's all work. It's all work. And that's the other problem, is no one is willing to do the work. That's why marriages fail. That's why there's so many single parents. That's why there's so much stuff, is that there's no communication. Everyone wants to be the head, you know, or in better sense of the word, you'll both appreciate this, the head of the table. Everyone wants to be that. Everyone wants to be their tribal chief in their house. You know, like that's just what it is. And so it's definitely how you interpret it. This is very subjective too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with that,
definitely,
with that work thing being said, like no one wants to do the work, it's absolutely true. A lot of people don't want to do the work. They want that easy microwavable fixes. You ain't gonna get that. So that's why a lot of people are willing to go to like Dr. Miami or something like that. No shade, it's the truth. When you could have just took your ass to the gym and worked out. But hey, listen, to go back to the to get back to what we were saying, because I did have a bar. Well, I did have something I wanted to say. That it's the lack of knowledge with people. Like, we are all spiritual. Underneath these shells is a spirit, which is energy, powered by the Most High. So we're all spiritual. But the thing is, people have made spirituality a religion. And that's a problem. Because we're all spiritual. It don't need to be made a religion. You don't want to do the work on these things, but you work on stuff that's going to feed your ego. Don't only work on things that's supposed to feed your ego. Excellence is exhausting. And also, greatness is an endless marathon. We supposed to be endless in our works. We supposed to be endless in our works and diligent with working, not just pointing fingers at other people and saying how high vibrational I am. And by the way, it does not matter if you've been working for 2 years to fix something that you've been that's been problematic to you, something, right? That you've been, your traumas, you cannot, if you're fucking 21, 25, 26, don't matter. You don't heal 100% of your traumas in 2 years or a year. It's not like that. You don't learn all the bases about spirituality in and out in 2 years. I guarantee you don't. It takes much longer than that. So you have no fucking right to sit on your high stone looking down at people saying, I'm high vibrational and you're low. Because if you knew anything, as above, so below. We're all fucking equal. Stop looking at the next person like you're better than them. Stop doing it, because you're not. We all have the same 24, right? Unfortunately, some people die sooner. But we all have the fucking same 24. We all have the same opportunity to put the work in and get whatever it is that we need to get, okay? So please stop thinking that you're better than the next person by saying that you're so fucking high vibrational. You're not. You're both, okay? Because a battery doesn't just run on one pole. It's a negative and positive, and that's what make a battery a fucking battery, okay? For whatever reason, we have both poles, negative and positive, no matter how you look at it. You're never going to get one thing out of life. You're going to get both, negative and positive. And guess what? Those negative things become positive depending on how you work and how you see it. Because while we're so caught up in working and hearing the word off TikTok or someone else say it, right? We need to be paying more attention to us and what we do, our character, building our character up, building our community up, not just telling the community, I'm better than you, so I'll flee from this town because I'm high vibration when this town is very low. Who the fuck is you to be saying the town is low vibration? That's all I'm saying. So, like, listen, what I've learned, you can test this for yourself. I don't care. I'm just saying I would never deal with a woman, again, who's in this high spirituality stuff, because every single time I've learned that, what I've learned so far, the information I collected is that women or people in general, they use this spirituality as a badge or something to hide behind. See, a person who's healed from whatever trauma it is cannot be triggered by that thing again because they've graduated from it, right? If you're still triggered by it, so fucking okay. Just do the work to get better. Don't fucking be delusional. You're not above people sitting on a stone up here looking down, all right? That's all I'm saying. I really need people to get that, because you're always going to these other outlets and you looking at these things and you're saying, oh, this, that, and the third. I'm not getting with no highly spiritual woman. Because why? We're all spiritual. I'm not saying getting with the devil, but I'm not getting with one who's outright, oh, I'm studying tarot. You 25 years old and you're studying. I'm not shitting on you, but you're studying tarot cards and you're doing tarot.
No, fuck that. We are shitting on you.
Yeah, I'm a shit on
you. Get out of that wicked tree.
You're doing tarot.
Get out of that black magic.
Right. The figures on those things look creepy. You're doing tarot readings. And then those same tarot cards that you get can be found in the Pokemon store. You can't find no Bible in the Pokemon store. There's stuff to say about a lot of stuff. But come on, bro. Like and then you base your whole day off of this one thing because you're so spiritual. Oh, well, the moon is set this way, so I am going to have a very shallow day. I'm going to have a day meant I'm probably going to suffer a lot of rain. That's how you look when you do this. I'm going to suffer a lot of rain and sorrow today. And now what you just did, you just fucked your own day up because the mind is a powerful thing. God said that himself. Sorry, bro. That's all I got to say.
One thing I wanted to say when you were talking about people being better than others, I heard a quote this one time. It was phenomenal. And I believe this is you should treat the janitor with the same respect you would treat the CEO.
CEO. Absolutely. I love that. I heard that too. I love it.
It all goes back to what I was saying about character. You know what I'm saying? Character does, just like what Queen said, character gives us a clear vision to ignite the fire within ourselves. It's all about character. Like for a person to be sitting there saying, "Oh, well, I'm high vibrational and you're low vibrational. I want to, talk to you," or something like that. It's a lot to do with their character. You know what I'm saying? That is an ignorance within their character that they need to get away from. It's not necessarily about you just being better. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not better than nobody. You know what I'm saying? If you're high vibrational, which means you're supposed to have a good character. But the fact that, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that you are taking it to a point where, oh, you make it seem like, like you're, up top, like you the king or the queen, and everybody else is, that you deem low vibrational or peasants. That's a character issue. I don't really think that has anything to do with, being, as far as spirituality or anything. That's just a character issue.
It's when I say, here's why I say, and by the way, I love that you said that because real quick.
Yeah, right, to me, that's an ego talking. Yeah, right.
But I love that you said that because when you, to the spiritual people, when you go looking for somebody for a mate, friendship, or romantic, you look at character, the overall of a person's overall, and not, oh, he did this or she did that, so they gotta be they're low vibrational. You don't look at people like that. Okay. Also, I'm gonna say it's truly not a spiritual thing, but so many people who claim to be spiritual people, spirituality, they're in this thing, they have that what we're talking about. They do all of these things. I'm telling you, countless people who are spiritual, they go and claim it. Those are the people, because we're all technically spiritual, but the people who's outright, I'm a lion, I'm spiritual, those people are the ones who exhibit these things that I'm telling you. It's spiritual with them. It's spiritual.
I mean, I feel like spirituality goes way deeper than
and
that. Like from what you're explaining, it kind of seemed like I said, ego and character. It's not necessarily spirit, because spirituality, like if you're spiritual, you have a more broader, a more divine mindset on everything dealing with, God, angels, the whole biblical thing. You have a more broader vision when you're spiritual compared to a religion who's only basically based off of the Bible and teachings. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you're spiritual, it goes real. It's more deeper than that. Like you're beyond like the part past the cosmos and stuff and shit like that. It goes real deep when you're spiritual.
And not to cut you off, but I said that. If I'm not mistaken, I think I said that. And I agree with what you're saying, because I'm literally saying the same thing. I said that it's truly not spiritual, but it is. There's some people who outright claim I'm a spiritualist, right? And they wave that around like a badge. Those people exhibit these things. That's what I'm saying here. Spirituality, it goes deep. That's what I was saying. I said we're all spiritual. In the beginning of this thing, I said if you spiritual,
and it ain't And it ain't nobody no deeper than the next as far as what's
that's
from
what
what's
we're
within.
saying here.
It's
That's
just
exactly
like
what
you
we're saying.
said, it's people to say it in a more plain way, it's people out here that wear the spiritual badge and they full of shit. They don't know what
There
the
we
fuck they
go.
talking
That's
about.
what we're
They
talking
just
about.
always talking on some clownish shit. They want to give
Yes.
you all these dumbass white man books to read and all types of bullshit, and that shit it'll lead you down a path of destruction. I can tell you that for sure.
A lot of people want attention too. Like
Yeah,
they, like it don't matter what kind of attention. Like, some people will just like do things just to stir the pot. I mean, I do it with music. Like I'll post something crazy just to make people go nuts. But that's fun, We're gonna debate about who's bigger, who's better, Biggie or Jay-Z or Biggie or Tupac, okay. But people take that same stuff of subjectiveness and they try and force it or they try and post it with real life stuff. And that's also what helps create the division, the divide between men and women, between black and white, between everything, like they try to find ways to divide, and everyone needs to try and find a way to come together, but you're never gonna have that ever. It's just, and if it does happen, it ain't gonna happen in my lifetime, in my opinion.
I don't know, man. I think it might. I think something is gonna happen in our lifetime, but that's a conversation for a different day.
Yeah.
Maybe you never know. All things
Yeah.
are possible.
Shit, we in a
All right.
paradigm shift right now. To be honest with you, we living in
All
the
right.
middle of a
So,
paradigm shift.
I'm gonna read. Somebody just asked a question on Instagram. Tamika, she asks, "Do you guys really understand what spirituality is?"
Are you asking us? Do we understand?
Yeah, she's asking this to us. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do you know what it is, Tamika? No disrespect. I don't know if that came off crazy, but do you know what it is? Because I
Yeah.
think we all do know what spirituality is.
Yeah.
Queen Quee says facts, so true, beautiful lady. So true. It's a deep connection. I guess she's answering Tamika. She's
Oh, okay.
talking to Tamika. She says,
Oh, she's actually
like-minded, we will speak the same language, we will listen, we are compassionate, we are another stimulating people lives pouring. Um Tamika says, yes, she knows it because she teaches it.
okay.
Um
It's wonderful.
And she said no on something. I don't know what she said no for, but she said no on that one. But Queen says out positive vibes on purpose, cheerful givers, just being a light gives me joy. Um, like I said, as far as spirituality goes, the spirituality is way far deeper than when it comes down to,
Right.
biblical stuff and
Oh,
talking
no.
about stuff like that. That's spirit. Being spiritual is on a whole different level. Um, she's talking about karmic lessons, chakra healing, and so forth. That's pretty much kind of like her thing. Um, and she said if you did, you would understand light workers and so forth. This is what Tamika was saying.
A
Her
lot of
comment.
light workers be full of shit. Not all, but a lot of people be full of shit though. They don't be what they say they are. Like they
Yeah,
mask and shit. So that's what we're talking about here. We aware of those
right.
things. We know that. But the purpose of this thing here is to like debunk all that bullshit. Like there's too much bullshit going on. If you are what you are, stand in that shit. We not shitting on you. But if you're not that, just say that. Stop pretending to be something you're not. You feel me? Like you pretending in the worst way. Not you, Tamika, but you pretending in the worst fucking way. We see it so often. But you shit on other people, then it comes back to you, and you ain't even like that. But then you can't even hold yourself
But
accountable. Niggas and
but
females.
there's a lot of people who don't pretend though. They literally be deep
Delusional.
into this shit and they just like
And
yeah,
lost.
exactly. There it is. They be delusional and lost in that shit. Like I said earlier, they be thinking they know a lot, but they know nothing, bro.
At
They know
all.
nothing.
At all.
Yeah,
But
Tamika says.
That shit just sound good. That's what we telling men to stray away from that shit because that spiritual shit. You know what I'm saying? Them chicks that be trying all that different type of shit. That shit that they you think you got a headache? Nah, get into that shit. Let them get control of your mind. Let them start telling you to tapping into your feminine energy and all of that different type of stuff.
All right, let
That's a
me
whole
read
rabbit
this.
hole.
Let me read this comment, then I'm gonna give it to you, Mike.
Okay.
So Tamika says, so the type of women that you guys are talking about, are those talk about those are women, that are gifted, but they have done no inner work, and I believe that too. Yeah, like they claim to be something, but they didn't really do any work to any research to really back up what the hell they claim. You know what I'm saying? So
is
yeah,
that really
I can get that.
Technically, all of us are gifted. Okay.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
Everyone
and
is gifted.
people don't research to be gifted. You
Right.
born with that
And
shit.
and
That's a talent or a
everyone is
blessing.
right. I'm sorry to keep everyone is
No, you good.
everyone is empathy, have empathy. We all have that. Some people are stronger in it because they do it more, right? When you do something more, the brain is like it reshapes itself for that, right? If in a way. So we all have that. We all have those same things. So all of us, like I said in the beginning, we're all spiritual, we're all gifted, right? And yes, a lot of people don't do the work, but it's not just only women, it's men too. They're full of shit ass dudes and women who do the same thing. It's not just focused only on women. It's the entirety of people coming along saying, I fucking did this or I did that. I did all the work and I'm healed now. Well, you're healed from that, right? You're healed from quote unquote that, but you're still triggered. But you're healed from that. However, you still got something else you got to work on now because now you're traumatized by that. Even if it's not trauma, there's something else you got to work on. It's endless work. So your work will never be done.
And you should always want to be better than you were the day before. I'm a firm believer in that. But one thing I'll say about people is, and I always say, you don't know what people are going through. Like, so example to the point you're making about like when you meet people and like they're faking who they are. Sometimes when you meet someone, you don't know what they've been through that's causing them to be something they may not be. Prime example, I met a person once. They lost their job on Tuesday, they lost their car on Wednesday, and they lost their mother on Thursday. So that's a lot of traumatic stuff that could really interfere with who you are. Well, forget that. That is going to interfere with who you are. That, that's a lot to take on at one time.
Yeah.
So sometimes we do have to offer the benefit of the doubt under certain circumstances, especially if you don't know, because you don't know what people are battling at any time. But in other terms, yeah, like you can't do the back and forth. You can't just go out here and just claim to be something you're not. Because I seen something earlier that said that you can be fake, but you can only be fake for so long. Eventually, you're gonna accidentally show who you are. You may not do it on purpose. You may just one day slip up, and then it's like, oh, that came out of left field. What's this about? And then next thing you know, now
excuse me.
that no worries. That whole illusion of who you are at that who that person was to you at that moment, it's all different. Because not misjudged, but misinterpreted who they were. They weren't who they said they are.
Hey, I was about to actually say, kind of come in with R&B and Reese was saying when they talk about a gift, that if you gifted, what I'm saying, you gifted, but yeah, but you still have to um be able to learn that gift and be able to control it, because you can be gifted with something but still don't know how to actually use it. Like, you can use it to a certain extent, but you don't understand the the extent to your gift. So Tamika was basically saying, she basically commented on what I was going to say. And she said, everybody is no, she said, so you have to learn to cultivate your gifts, and your gifts can be closed down by God if you abuse them. Like you have to learn how to cultivate. You have to learn, still have to learn how to craft it. And Queen said the same thing. You have to craft it, study it, fall in love with the gift of you. So do the work to grow and cultivate the gift of you. And such a lady, she said it's a journey. She said different levels, some won't understand.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of these there's a lot of these comments, I ain't gonna lie to you. But yeah, it's mainly any gift that you have, you still have to learn how to control it. You still have to learn how to use it. And just because like I one of these used a good example of singing. I think that was Queen. She said, if you know how to sing, you got a gift of singing, you still got to be able to do the work to be able to be good at it, and to do the best work to make your voice even better. You still have to research, you still got to put in work to make it. Just because you have the gift doesn't mean you're still going to be able to use it to the best of his ability if you don't do put any work into to control it, to cultivate it, to be able to use it in the best sense. You know what I'm saying? If you see what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have to put the work in with your gift, but how do you put the work in unless you know that you have the gift? See, I sing. I knew I could sing. Then other people knew I could sing. So that validated to me that I had that gift. Tell me a gift that tells you that you spiritual and that you out here healing people and all these different types of miracles and magic and shit. Show it to me. Show it to me. Because I don't know nobody doing that. And if you out here doing it and then you ain't rich, if you can read spirits and read people's mind and read people's future and shit, like legit, and you ain't rich.
It's not all about money though.
Wait. Can I say no, don't focus on just the money part he said. That was great. Listen, let me ask something. So I was looking at this live one day. It was a girl who was doing, and this is what we're talking about. I was looking at a live one day, and she was like, she was doing tarot readings. She was quote unquote reading people's mind and reading their whole life and who they are and where they're going, who they should get back with, right? And people in there, they really follow what she was saying. So they say, oh, don't get back with your ex. Now, you never know what you could have did there, what you stopped. But anyways, let me keep going. So someone in the chat, I noticed that they asked her, they said, am I pregnant right now? I laughed because that shit was genius. It was a good question to ask to test and see, do you know if I'm pregnant or not, right? So when she asked, am I pregnant right now? At least this is what I thought she was getting at. Am I pregnant right now? She said she ignored it and kept going and answering everybody else shit. Girl was like, hey, should I get back with my ex Tyrone? And literally Tyrone, I remember it. It was like, oh, no, don't get back with him. He's a negative energy. Girl, you're supposed to do bigger and better things. I see you with a air sign. Literally. So the point I'm trying to make is the lady who said, am I pregnant? She asked this again. And she didn't answer. So I emphasized. I said, hey, she asked you if she's pregnant and you didn't answer the question. Am I pregnant right now? Now I got a bunch of women on my TikTok page, right, that I've shot and did videos of. So it'll look like, oh, this is a woman. People don't be knowing, right? But I'm literally a dude. So first she told the other girl when she said, is Aaliyah pregnant? I'm picking up some really, really strong energy, right? I'm picking up some really strong energy. Listen. Wait, I'm not done. Wait.
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever?
Listen, I'm picking up on some really, really strong energy. No, this is the one right here. This is it. Why couldn't it have been as simple as these other people? You said yes, no, yes, yes, no. Don't go back with them. That's negative energy. Why couldn't be that simple? However, she said it real strong energy. Guess what she said? Girl, I'm seeing a yes and a no. You couldn't give this motherfucker the right answer because you don't have a fucking answer. And then when I went along, what made it worse, I said, all right, I'm gonna expose you further, right? I'm gonna expose you further. I'm gonna ask you a question. Am I pregnant right now? I said, I made up a name. Am I, Dolores, pregnant right now? Then she said, Dolores, yes, you're pregnant. And then I said, am I pregnant right now? She said, yes, you're pregnant. Yes, I'm a whole dude. How the fuck am I?
Why the fuck you lying? Why you?
So with that being said, there, like I was saying, bro, it's even people who, bro, we're all gifted. We're all gifted with that shit. But bro, like, come on, man, y'all be pushing it with this shit. Not y'all in the comments.
Y'all be pushing it. We all got a little intuition and shit. We all got a little deja vu.
Come on,
we all special in some way, shape, or form.
And you know what else is worse is that when the person come along, they all listen to you. When you come along, you say, should I get back on my ex, or it's this new guy that I'm talking to? I really like him. I'm feeling him. Should I continue or should I be worried about something? Girl, what's his birthday? They ask you key questions so they can go off for the sign and say, oh, girl, no, he's doing some very deceptive things to you. And I would definitely, and then the people who have no discernment, they go and listen to that fully, right? Now, if they right, cool. But most of the time, I guarantee you, they don't be right. Just like when she said I was pregnant. I was not pregnant. I am not pregnant. I'm a fucking male. Okay? The point is that it's too many people who's on bullshit out here selling you false ass dreams. Stop believing that.
I think those are motherfuckers that I think those are just the type of people who focus more on profit and then their actual gift that they claim they have. And
bro, that's the point. They don't have a gift. They're exploiting the fakeness of a gift for the money.
Bro, it's no
gift. They don't have a gift.
If it technically, technically, we call it a gift. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna let you go. I promise. We label things, but when you get over the labels, what is it? We're all that. If you say that do you have a soul in you? Do you have a spirit in your body? Yes. He do, Ryan do, and so does he. We all do. So outside of this shell, right? This human body, we all have the same shit. We came from source. What is source? Whatever you consider that to be, we came from that. We have that inside of us. So we're all that. When you get over the labels comes in as people. We label shit just to keep up with shit. And
to distract us.
Yes, but label, outside of the label, there's no gift. We all have that. Some are stronger, some are not as strong because they need to put more work into it. But bro, we're all empaths. We all have.
I done been with cats before, and they bring somebody around, and I'm like, I don't fuck with him. Like, who is this? I don't fuck with dog. I get a weird vibe off of him. And it turns out I was right more times than not. But I'm not running around here talking about I'm gifted for that shit. It's just an intuition. Sometimes you get a feeling. I say it's a blessing because that was probably somebody that the Most High knew would do me harm or not be beneficial to me and automatically let me know right then and there. That wasn't the battle he wanted me to fight.
When we call it a gift, that's worldly. To the flesh, it's a gift. This is what I'm trying to get y'all to see. To the flesh, it's a gift. But underneath all of that, it's no gift, bro. Everyone has it. It's no gift. There's no one better than the next person. We all have that same thing. Ranking systems came into play with physical, with our bodies. Just like money. All of these different things come into ranking systems. Who's better at this and that? Technically, all of us can go get that same thing. Like, if you want to be a construction worker, you can go be a construction worker. You may not be as good as the other nigga right now who had 20 years of doing it, but if you want to be a construction worker, you can do it. Anything that you want, you can do it.
Hey, Kay says intuition is more than what you think. And yes, it is. Intuition definitely is more. You have to do
Yeah,
more
definitely.
research on that. And such a lady, she said is that's more on energy. You know what I'm saying? What R&B was saying as far as like a dude come around you be like, nah, I don't you picked about that's an energy, aura that they
But
gave
for
off.
him to have picked that up, it still have something to do with like that
What
part.
they
It
claim to
still
be a
have
gift.
something right. Other
These fake spiritual people would over exaggerate that situation. They would sit there and say, you know, say, oh, it's something I don't like about him. Oh, I'm getting this weird energy. I'm
yeah.
getting this pull. But like, you know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, bro, it's no gift. It's just
we
it's no
we we running at 10:18. We gonna finish this up at 10:30. Let Mike tap back in here for
all
a
right, yeah.
second.
Sorry, Mike. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, y'all are good. I think the other thing too is, yeah, gifts are real, but sometimes they take longer to find. I think everyone needs to have purpose. It's one of my favorite words. My best friend, short little backstory, died in 2020 from a seizure. And one about, I don't know, maybe like 9 years ago, 11 years ago, somewhere in there, I actually wanted to commit suicide. And he told me that I couldn't do that because I hadn't found my purpose. And just last year, people when I tell them this, they don't believe that I've only been podcasting or been talking like this on in front of, like, on a screen for like a year, but I just kind of did it on a show one day and it stuck. So, purpose takes discipline. And once you've located what your purpose is, it's a lot easier to navigate your life. That's my theory. And a lot of people are down here living without purpose. They don't do anything that fulfills them. And you need to
Nope.
do something to fulfill you. Like, even I seen something the other day that said a job gives you a salary to replace your dreams.
Oh, gotcha.
So if you make it six figures and you hate your job, are you really living? Are you? Like, granted, yeah, you make it six figures. I'm sure you comfortable in your lifestyle, but are you really living? Are you living in your purpose and in your truth? The answer to that is no, you are not. So when you talk about gifts, sometimes you find it late. I realized just last year I like to talk. So what did I do? I created a platform to talk. And it's starting to put me into different places where I can talking here with you gentlemen. I do my sports show. I got a friend who's been trying to get me to do a wrestling show with him, but I keep telling him that it's going to take too much time, but he's really pushing my buttons on it. So that's the other thing, is I think we have to look at purpose as a way to calibrate ourselves, to find why we're here at this particular moment in time, and to your gift is for you, but it's to share to the world. It's something, and if you can make money doing your gift, you've won. You've won the game of life, in my opinion.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Got questions I want to ask. It's just, so would you consider singing as a gift? What you said was so accurate, by the way. We that's our purpose, is to figure out our purpose.
Appreciate that.
But
I would say yes. I would think singing's a gift. Now, you could go and say, like, I couldn't sing to save my life, But, you know, someone could go and take vocal lessons and turn into a singer. But I look at my daughter, for example. She's 12. Her name's Brenda. And this girl can sing, like, just naturally, you know, like, kind of just goes with it. What happened?
How old is she, by the way?
Oh, Brenda's 12, but she started singing when she was like 9, just singing songs, and naturally never lessons. Brenda's one of those children that's good at everything. Like it just comes naturally to her.
Mm-hmm.
She can play basketball, she can sing, she can dance, she does ballet, she does gymnastics. Like she's never taken lessons in any of this stuff, but she's naturally good at it.
Oh,
and
she's definitely been here a few times, I could tell.
You know, like she was throwing baseball with her sister, and the one day she just whipped the ball. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, like she just. So I do believe, because I've seen it in my child, and she, like I said, she's never been taught any of this stuff. She sees it and then she just does it. So I would consider singing a gift.
I would say that here's an interesting theory. Now, this is just something I've just been thinking about. What if you looked at it? Have you ever considered it to be like a carryover? Like, do you follow the notion of this is not our first rodeo, like being here?
Meaning that we were alive.
About reincarnation. You talking about reincarnation.
Regeneration.
Yeah.
I've never looked that deep into it. I've heard people discuss it. I've been in some rooms of discussion of it, but it's nothing I've personally looked into or have really thought into it. Now, life after death, you know, heaven and hell. I've right. You know, grew up in church. Obviously, that's taught, but reincarnation, meaning we were here before, that's not something I've heavily looked into personally.
So
yeah, they not gonna teach that in the church. That's why. That's real shit.
So here's the theory. A person who's considered a prodigy, right? They're like 6 and 7 years old and they're really great, or what we call gifted, at singing, right? I'm talking about they never had a vocal class or lesson, and they sing at an age that they like, how is this person able to sing like this at 8 and 7 and 5 years old? They sing so exceptionally well, it sounds like they need to be on TV. And now we need to cultivate that gift, right? But
yeah,
that is simply what if it's simply a carryover? So in the life that they had before this one, it's just some things stick with you. And that's one thing. They say that memories, when you die, your memories don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how we end up here, but anywho, the memory is what stick with you. Nobody can't take the knowledge away from you. I think that will be somewhat tied into that. Then you come into your new body. This is just a theory. You coming into your new body, and now you're vocalizing like this at some point, right? Like we have deja vu. It's not really like what they call it. It's you know, beyond what some people can really understand. It's like how do your brain remember you being somewhere when you were never there? Well, maybe you was in a whole different realm or something like that, right? So a lot of the talent just carry over. But the thing is I see it as talent, and we all have talent. We can make talent, right? We can build talent. I think that I hear what you're saying about gift, but if everybody can do this shit, I don't really see it as a gift. I just see it as something we can do. When we talk about gifted, that, like, for instance, I go and I'm gonna pay $1,000 to see a singer sing. I can do that same thing if I wanted to. I'm like, oh my God, I could never sing like that. That's me. That's how I think. That's my mentality. I put a roadblock on my own life, but I technically can do the same thing. It's not really truly a gift. Or if you want to call it a gift, it's like, oh, we got the gift to make whatever we want and be whatever we wish. That's how
it's a talent, but it's I believe that a talent is a gift, because a lot of people are able to use their talents to feed their family. That's a gift. You know what I'm saying? Some people are able to, you know, fund their whole life off of a talent. That's a gift. To be able to do something that you love, you know what I'm saying? Instead of having to work a regular 9 to 5 or or a slave at a plant or a slave under somebody's company and stress every damn day. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that when you have a talent that things aren't stressful, but we all know, you have a little bit more, it's a little bit off, off
Well,
the
when you're
load. So
well, it's just a different form. Like, yeah, if you're talented, not everyone can hit a baseball that's going 100 miles an hour. Not everyone can run up and down a court for 48 minutes and shoot a ball and have energy. Not everyone can be tackled, dude,
You were
100
gifted with
times
the
a
energy,
game.
gifted with the sight. Okay, okay. All right.
You know, so when you look at so when you look at it, like, yeah, to your point, sometimes you have to put in the work, but sometimes you just have it. You just have it. It's just it's just something you can't explain. Now, there's no doubt anyone can get to it, because I do believe you can do anything you put your mind to. If you wanted to say tomorrow to us, I want to be a baseball player, I'm going to do it. You know, there's no doubt you could do it, but and create that to your point, saying, in a sense. But sometimes you just have it. You're just gifted, and sometimes it's all about size and physique, right? Like, look at LeBron James. It's only one guy like that, but size and physique has helped
He
his
was
gift.
juicing.
He was gifted. Okay, I get what you're saying. I like that. I like that, y'all. Okay, I get it. Because there was a disconnect for me. So he was gifted the size, his physique, all of those different things, and his speed to be able to be that fucking big and that fast. That was it's technically, it's not too many people like that, but it's a lot, I think, that are just undiscovered. I mean, there's plenty of freak of natures. However, you got LeBron, right? He could do all these.
Yeah,
He
I mean, he's
gifted
one.
that.
He's one example, but you're
Yeah, for
not
sure.
wrong in what you're not wrong in what you're saying at all, because, like,
Mhm.
sometimes people aren't naturals at first. I mean, I look at the Miz, right? He's now renowned as a well-known wrestler, but at first, when he came on, he was on the Real World. He wasn't a wrestler. The Miz was just a character in his brain. Now look, here we are, 24 years later, removed from the Real World New York. He's a wrestler. He's a Grand Slam champion. He believed that, to your point, he believed he was going to be a wrestler, and he did it. He did it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have people who may not be very talented, but somehow make a name for themselves. That happens too. They get lucky.
Thing.
or
Hey,
they might not have had the most talent, and but they put the work in. So the work that they put in got them to a certain plateau before they, hit their clip.
David versus Goliath. So, like,
Kay was saying it's a gift to be able to wake up with no lessons and sing differently from someone who has to constantly work. That's basically what it is. A gift is something that you just have, like y'all was saying, naturally. Like you didn't put in any work to make yourself get to that point. It came naturally, but you still have to put in work to hone it and make it better. You know what I'm saying? To make it come out even more. You know what I'm saying? To make it better. But you didn't have to like for a person who can't sing, they have to actually go get vocal lessons to learn how to sing and get to that level. You got people who don't have to do that. They can just sing on their own without any vocal lessons. They can still go get vocal lessons anyway to hone it even more, to make their voice come alive even more. But it won't, what I'm saying? They don't have to put that much work in to do that. As far as somebody who can't sing at all, they're gonna have to put in a whole bunch of work. Period.
Everybody gotta have lessons at some point. If you truly want to do it, I ain't trying to go down this rabbit hole, but I'm just say, as a singer myself, I claim that you do have to have lessons at some point, no matter how good you are. No matter how raw and natural you are at a young age, before you get, in order to get to where you want to go, you at some point you have to have some lessons. You have to be taught how to hone that. And that's facts. You can go from the best of the best, and you ain't none of them you can name that ain't had lessons, that ain't get, you know what I'm saying? Whitney Houston mother and aunties and all of them taught her. We all know how Michael Jackson grew up. You know what I'm saying? No matter who you go to, somebody taught them, and they taught them how to hone that shit and how to control it and how to, put it out there, how to sing from the diaphragm, so on and so forth. You're not gonna just go ahead.
They also taught them discipline.
Yeah, but their voices, yeah.
Because I was talking to a few friends who sing, and when you're recording a song, it's a lot different than when you're performing. You have to train your voice in a way to where you can still sound good, still project, and still perform the song, especially if you're going to be dancing while you're performing. There's sometimes gifts have to utilize lessons to bring the gift into full effect.
Facts.
Yeah, so Jay Soul says, but there are people that do it to get better, and there are people that do it to make their skills better. That's the difference. And yes, that's kind of what I was saying. Is like you got people, the ones who actually have the gift. Of course, yes, they're still gonna get have to end up getting lessons sooner or later. But that's just to hone it to what I'm saying, just to get it a little, just to fine tune it a little bit better. Then you got to, except for the people who actually don't know how to sing at all, and they have to put in more work to
people
actually
who don't
get
know
to
how to
that
sing
level.
at all. People who don't know how to sing at all never get to any level. Now, if you want to say somebody that's an average singer, you know what I'm saying, not the, you know what I'm saying, just keeping it in reality. Someone who's an average singer that'll go get lessons and learn how to control their voice and all those types of different things in order to hone the skills and be able to do it at a maximum effort and level, then yeah, that's different. But people, there's no such thing of not being able to sing at all and going and having somebody turn you into a singer. That does not happen.
Yeah, it can happen. You're wrong on that. It can happen. With the right lessons, with the right vocal coach and right lessons, yes, you can become a good singer even if you don't know how to sing at all.
Go.
That's
okay.
They will teach you how to how to better sing, how to better come from the diaphragm and sing instead of going from your I guess your vocal cords or something like that. They will teach you how to do that. You just gonna have to put in more work than somebody who actually already knows how to sing and just trying to hone it.
You can't be taught a gift. You can't be taught a gift.
You getting it mixed up, man. You really getting it. Yes, you are.
Nobody can go out on the court and shoot like Steph Curry because that's Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? That's Steph Curry's gift. Now maybe somebody will come along and fuck around and have a gift that's even colder than Steph Curry's gift for shooting. We don't know, but that it's a gift. You can't get like taught a gift. It has to come from within. It has to already be in you. But if you can't sing, you can't sing.
The thing about it is, man, is if you got a gift to play basketball or anything, like yes, it comes naturally, but somebody can still get to a good level, you know what I'm saying, without it being a gift with enough practice and enough, with hard enough, you know what I'm saying? Like a gift is just something that was given to you naturally, like you could just naturally do it without putting in any type of effort.
The hard work.
Well, somebody who doesn't have that gift, they can still be able to play good and still do good at a certain thing that they can't do.
I don't disagree with that notion.
They have to put in more work.
I don't disagree with that at all, but I would guarantee you, in order for them to have put that work in to get to the next level, I bet you they had to have some other type of gift in order to put that work in. It may not be the same maximum talent level gift of a Steph or some shit like that, but maybe he was 6'6", with big hands or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's levels to it. With singing, you're not gonna get up out the bed one day and be like, Ice JJ Fish was never gonna be a fucking great singer. That's what you sitting up here basically trying to tell me. That Ice JJ Fish could have been a great singer if he went and got lessons and put the work in. No.
I believe so. Yes, he would.
Well, it's 10:37. We wanted to end this at 10:30, but we went a little bit overboard. But as far as on the actual topic, we got to get back on topic.
And we was off.
Anybody got any last words on this spirituality kick? And please, you know what I'm saying, put in your final words for the fellas why you feel, if you feel that fellas need to avoid these spiritual women.
I think we need to as men just do better in our selection process. Know that there's more to women than just sexual innuendo, and look for deeper connections. A lot of people still looking to up the body count. That's just I'm 36 years old. I don't care nothing about that. I personally just want to be connected to whomever, and then obviously my wife. But for men out there trying to navigate and duck and weave through this society with women, and just make sure you know them top to bottom. I was with my wife for over a year before we moved in together. I made sure that we were going to be all right before I made that move. So for the fellas out there trying to really figure it out, make sure you put yourself first always, put your health first, put your mental health first, know who you are as an individual, and make sure, more importantly, you know who she is as an individual before you move in with her, or even worse, before you marry her or get her pregnant. Because once you do that, I had a friend who went through that. We're no longer friends due to it. But once you do that, there's no turning back. You're invested legally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and most of all, financially.
All right. Who next? Who next? Who next, man?
I would just say, just kind of going off of a lot of stuff that's been said. My thing is, fellas, you know what I'm saying, just be wise and be mindful of who you're trying to connect with. Actually get to know this lady before you decide you want to actually be, something more with her, because you never know what her character is. And just because somebody claims to be something doesn't necessarily mean that they are. You know what I'm saying? For somebody who actually are something that, like, basically high vibrational, they don't have to actually say it. You can tell just by their character, just by the way they carry themselves, what the words they speak. You can definitely tell that they are high vibrational. They don't even have to say a word. Same thing with spiritual. You can tell they're spiritual by the words and how they, how they present themselves. So so anybody that's out here just saying, oh well, I'm high vibrational, I'm spiritual, I'm this, I'm that. You know what I'm saying? They just doing it just for clout. It's all clout. It's all smoke and mirrors. Don't ever believe anything like that. Just, really get to know them and really, like, have some criteria to give to them to see if they really are what they claim to be. That's my final words.
Okay.
Say to each his own. All right, but you go ahead and fuck around if you want to, and if it works for you, good. If it don't, at some point, make a switch. That's all I'm gonna say, because, yeah, that's it.
Well, it was fun chatting it up with you guys. Mike, we want to thank you again for coming in and chiming with us tonight, man.
Absolutely.
This was an excellent conversation. We loved your input. Y'all make sure y'all go check this brother out. You want to drop your @ real quick for him? Let him know
Yeah,
about the.
Yeah, I do. I do Honest Hour. You know, that's my podcast. I have interviews. You know, I look to bring on anyone who can do whatever they do. You know, we have a conversation on Instagram. I'm M Wills 1988 or at Honest Hour. But when you do that, HON.EST hour. Honest Hour on TikTok. Honest Hour on Facebook, Mike Williams on Facebook. I have a photography page. I do nerd camp sports. I do a lot of different things. So anywhere, I'm on all those handles. You can find me, and I preach positivity, and I just like to have conversations. So add me, find me. If you want to have a conversation, we can do it.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Hopefully, some people reach out to you. We wish you plenty blessings going forward. I definitely know we're gonna put something together where we're gonna be featured on the Honest Hour. Can't wait to do that one.
Absolutely.
Should
Absolutely.
be nice. I'll lead the fellas with this one. Just kind of what the fellas kind of already said. I'm gonna reiterate. Be careful out here. Use your discernment, fellas. Don't fall for the traps. Even if you want to hit it, she might be cold. She might be just your type, just what you like. If you see them red flags, if her conversation ain't right, if she ain't coming right, if she seem like she the gold digging type, then, you know what I'm saying, use that discernment and just keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Just do better. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, stop falling for the traps. Because all these women, this high vibrational, this spiritual talk, all this bullshit, it's bullshit. Because they claim one thing and then you get deep into their life and you see a whole nother. They claim to be spiritual, and don't even go to no type of church, not associated with any type of nothing when it comes to God, which is the whole thing of spirituality. And then they be all over social media showing their bodies, shaking ass, all that different type of shit. Man, these hoes ain't spiritual, bro. They ain't loyal. That's what they are. So keep it pushing until you find the one. And until then, we'll bump into y'all next time, man. This Big 3 Man Talk podcast. We up off this thing. We holla at y'all.
Swagging, alright, flashing, dragging, alright, bragging. Back then, alright, bag in, back then, alright. Out the wagon, I walked in.
Bring back Roman.
Saucing, flashing, flossing.